G'day guys, what's cracking? It's Ralph here, and today I'm going to go through Telesin's filter range so you can see the effects it has on the camera and which one might work for you. All filters come with this lovely little lens cleaner. It's a ripper, it's lovely. First of all, there is a set where you can get the CPL, then an ND16, 64 and 256. Now the CPL filter is a circular polarizing filter. It has two tasks, one to draw more color out and two to lessen the reflection. You also lose a stop of light when you put it on, and I will put it on now and you can tell me what you think. What do you reckon? Now, you can't actually put these filters over the wide lens that comes with it, taking it from a 20mm to a 15mm. So you need to remove the wide lens, put that aside, and we put the CPL on. Now the beauty of a CPL is you can actually, it's circular and it's polarizing, so I can actually turn it and it should have a different effect. Now the gimbal does not like it when you muck about with it and you touch it, but what you're doing with a circular polarizing filter is looking for the best effect based on what you have. So what do you think? Is that good? It's impossible to remove some of these filters without getting your dirty big fingerprints on them, so just be aware of that. That's why they comes with a cloth. Let's hit up the ND16 that is 4 stops. So this is like putting sunglasses on your camera. Watch this. And then it will grow accustomed to that and reset it. Now these are auto settings that I'm shooting on at the moment, but if I'm shooting on cinematic, all of a sudden it's gone 4 stops darker. Then you can lower your frame rate to match the density of the filter, and as you do that, you will get a more cinematic feel, because the idea is the lower frame rate you shoot, down to 24, gives you the maximum ability to get the most out of the aperture and put the less pressure and, what's the word? Demand, that's the word, on the actual camera. So if you're in really bright circumstances like out there, the more of these I put on, the better it looks out there and the less stress it's putting on the camera, therefore the better footage it's creating. Now I'm going to try and put on top of that the ND64, which is 6 stops. So this is, I can. So it's just dropped it 10 stops, so you can stack these filters. You see how it's too dark, but out there looks amazing. I don't look too crash hot, but if I turn on some lights, it doesn't really help because it's so dark. And at the moment, the camera's like screaming. It's like, no, I can't do any more dark. If we did do more dark, I would go black and then the background would go even more into frame. There you go, it's completely black. So let me take all of them off, and I am going to replace that with the ND64. So you can see where that's at. So this is an ND64, as the exposure just works itself out. So that is kind of perfect for a balance between my face and the tones and textures on the face, and then the brightness of against the sun, against the wall in the back there. Now if I take this off and I apply the ND256, which is 8 stops. Yeah, and 8 stops is a lot. A 10-stop filter, it's good if you want to do long exposure photography, if you want to access the photo aspect of this, and do long exposure photography in the daylight, then that's a real cracker of an option. So the 8 stops knocking around there. But if you're shooting and it's so bright and you're like, I just seem so overexposed, you can pull these out. Or you can go in your manual settings on your camera, you can drop it down to 24 frames a second, and then you can experiment with these, and you can even layer them to see which one meets the needs that you have to be met. So we have our wide lens that comes with the Pocket 4 at 15mm, and it comes with the Pocket 3 at 15mm as well, and you can choose to have that on. If I put that on, look, it just puts a bit more context to what we're doing here. When I take it off, and it sort of brings everything, it doesn't warp it so much. So what you get with this is a 14mm, or it's 14.4 equivalent, and I'm going to put this on, and I want you to be thinking, do the colors change? That's what we're looking for, right? Look up in the corners, well, I'll just pop it on. What do you think? Now 14.4 seems even like that extra 0.6 between a 15 and a 14.4 seems quite dramatic. This is the 14.4mm, and this is the 15mm. So there's a little bit of difference, but it's not massive. But if you lose it, this is a really good replacement. Or if you think, I want an extra 0.6mm, this is a good replacement. Or if yours doesn't come with it, it's a really good replacement. Or you think, I just love Telesin gear, then it's a really good, you got it, replacement. Then there's 3 other fascinating filters that Telesin have created. The first is what's called the light pollution filter, or LPF if we're trying to be cool, or stick it on the side of a filter, right? This is the LPF, and the LPF, the light pollution filter, takes out all the artificial yellows that are held in the sky. If you're an astrophotographer like me, you will hate this hazy yellow, and so I'm just going to stick it on in the daylight. It's not built for right now. We're supposed to use it at night. It'd be good for filming at night and give a more of a natural expression of color and texture in the things you see, or when you're vlogging. So you could use this at night to vlog. So we're just going to pop it on and you tell me what you think. By the looks of things, just as I'm looking at my shot, it looks a little bit strange, and that would be because we're used to watching the sunlight and it's meant to be yellow, but at night is when it comes into own. At the moment I've got 3 fill lights on and some colorful backgrounds. We're going to put some filters on this and see what it looks like. This is with the LPF filter on. So get this into you, have a look in the background, the colors in the background, my face. Settings are all the same at 4K 60. Next we have a black diffuser, and the black diffuser is similar to a black mist. So the idea is that it softens the highlights, so these are highlights, and it calms down and makes it less intense, the contrast. And the contrast in this shot is, say, between this bright and this dark. There's a lot of contrast in light, right? So the idea is that it softens the highlights and it reduces the contrast. So let's put it on. And what do we think? As I look at the screen, I don't know, does it look okay? I'll run them two next to each other so you can have a bit of a look. It may actually work better if I'm vlogging outside in the sun. That's with it on, and then we take it off, and that's with it off. So what do you think about the difference between the two? Now this is the black diffusion filter on at 1/4 strength. Other brands call it a black mist filter. So what do you think? What does it change about my face in contrast to the background? Look at the shadows and the highlights in this shot. And a final filter that Telesin have sent me that's in the range that we have to play with today is the 6-point star filter. And you guessed it, providing you guessed that when it's not so much stars, although it might work, but it's more lights where they're really bright against the dark contrast. So anything at night, city lights at night, or a bright light on some water that's rippling, and the reflection or the light that comes at you, well, it turns it into 6-point star. So does it work with this? Can you see anything on this? Yeah, I'm not sure. So let's go out where it's dark and make the most of it. And this is the 6-point star. So have a look at the background especially. What lights are popping out? I'm actually going to get my phone out, turn this light on, and just tell me what you see. Can you see it? Look at that. Nice 6-pointer. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, what do you think about the background? It's not advisable to drop it, but the glass is quite tough, and so if you do, you haven't cooked it forever, just look after it, blow off the excess dirt, and then get that cloth and make sure you clean it up nicely. But here's the range. So what do you think? I reckon when it comes to filters, you don't buy like all the filters because you think, what if? You actually go, I want to achieve this result, or I've got this project, or I want to take this video, and therefore I need this filter, and that's the filter I'm going to buy. So that would be my advice to you from someone that's spent a lot of money over the years on a lot of filters, that have spent a lot of time just sitting there going, use me, use me. And I realize filters for an action camera or for a vlogging camera like the Pocket 4, it's an acquired taste. You can get amazing results without the filters, but if there's something special you want to achieve, you sometimes need a filter to do that. And therefore, these from Telesin I can highly recommend. I've been using Telesin products for a long, long time. As you've seen through this, the color distortion isn't there. It retains the true colors and just affects the shading, which is what you want. You don't want a lot of extra greens and pinks moving in. If that's the case, you're like, no, do away with this. And then you've got the specialized filters to achieve something special if that's what you need to do. So I hope this review has been helpful. Thanks Telesin for sending this to me. Thanks you for watching. If you want to grab me a coffee, love a coffee. In fact, brewed one just before we started. Because today has been a big day, and you can tune off now, but if you want to just listen, then I'll just tell you what's been happening recently. I spent a couple of weeks in Perth, and I came back for like 5 days, and then I flew to the UK on a work job, and was there for like 16 days. While I was there, I had the greatest aspirations to vlog and to bring you along with me, and it did not happen. Didn't happen. I made half of one video, and it was just too much other fun stuff to do. So sorry. Took lots of photos, so that was fun. But it's good to be back, and today is the first day of shooting, and I think this is about my 6th video that I've smashed out today. I've got a couple more to go, but then the challenge is when do you see, shooting a video is fine, but in case you didn't know, then you've got to, well, you edit it, and then you've got to come up with a thumbnail, then you've got to upload it and do all the metadata, which is, oh. And I get lots of offers from lots of professional companies saying, we'll do all that for you. I'm like, yeah, but that's not how I roll. This is just like a one-man show. I haven't got a lot of money and cash to spend. I'm so grateful for companies that support me and get behind me. I give away more stuff than I really should probably sell it, but it helps others. And I do for them what I wish somebody would have been able to do for me. There wasn't that person in my life. So anyway, I just thought a bit of a chat, because it's been a while, if you've watched this. And this is part of a series that I think this brings to a close, depending on when it's posted, of the accessories of Pocket 4. So if there's other accessories you want to look at for this camera, and some of them, like I'm using at the moment, using a battery resource at the moment and some lights. So if they can be of benefit to you, have a look at those reviews. And if not, stick around and we'll get on to something different. I've got a new Insta360 camera about to be reviewed, so I might do that now, because that's always fun. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.